Hey, so the latest in cultural appropriation is the saggy pants with the built-in underwear showing, something that's typically been associated with young Black men and hip hop culture. And not just that's been associated with young Black men and hip hop culture, but young Black men have been criticized for this style, vilified, and told, hey, pull your pants up if you want to be more respectable. So now that we have a designer selling these pants for $1,200, there's criticisms that this is cultural appropriation. Now, it's tricky in the fashion industry because we don't typically protect fashion design. But what makes this instance particularly interesting is that it's a style that was associated with prison wear and gangster style and was heavily criticized, now has become, it seems, something that is in fashion. Now, the fashion house said that they like to mix things up, and that they weren't trying to appropriate in that way. They're being creative, but did they need to give credit? And to whom do you give credit? So that's a bit of a tricky thing, but I think we can agree that there is a reputation with respect to these kinds of pants and that style that is associated clearly with the Black community, with the African American community. And that is something that would have to be acknowledged. Now, how does the designer acknowledge that? Maybe they just acknowledge it expressly. The other problem is, I think people took issue with them charging $1,200 for these pants. On the one hand, maybe they're still targeting that a particular audience of Black men that can spend $1,200 for the pants. I don't know the story behind it and whether they just decided that they're going to do it themselves, whether they've incorporated African American designers into their fashion house and who's all involved with this, or if this is really a case of people completely outside of the culture taking this look and using it and selling it, which legally is very hard to say that we could do anything about it. Culturally, it becomes kind of a challenging question, but certainly I think we can all agree that in terms of the reputational side of it, that it is something that is clearly associated with hip hop culture. And that's where it came from, was criticized, and now it seems to have crossed over into being mainstream.